Have you ever thought just how boring or ridiculous news commentary is today? Welcome to the Real Jacks Podcast with Jim and Larry. The Real Jacks Podcast. From crime and politics to entertainment, you can expect something different. Now, let's get real, Jacks.
Real Jacks with Jim and Larry is brought to you by
Extreme Wings, 4 convenient locations, family sports restaurant and grill, more than just wings. Tremendous Barbecue, open since 2007, 8927 Hurlong Road, open 11 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday, and Sunday 11 to 3. Full barbecue menu, everything homemade, they cater anything, and they love first responders. Advanced Window Tint, 5024 Sunbeam Road, over 26 years experience. 3M Platinum Dealer, highest level of 3M dealer around. They tint vehicles, homes, and businesses. Secure One Protection Services, number one choice for protection since 1986. 356-1111. D-Way Towing, 100 South Jackson Avenue. Phone number is 904-356-3929. They take care of all your towing needs. See our friend Doug Dixon. Wild West Guns and Gold, family owned and operated for over 30 years. Stop in and visit them and their professional staff for all your hunting and shooting sports equipment. They have great customer service with competitive prices. Remember, Wild West Guns and Gold, our friends at Wild West. Vic Gibran, he's a good friend and great business owner and looks out for folks on the west side. They're on Lane Avenue. Go see him. Norman Brewer for Jacksonville District 11 City Council. We need fighters that will truly represent us on the city council. Norman Brewer is that guy. He's a constitutional conservative, former law enforcement officer, successful businessman. Norm will call it like he sees it, and you will have no better advocate on the council.
Hey, welcome back with Real Jacks with Jim and Larry.
Only.
Yeah. No crawfish today.
Bug, bless his heart.
I'm back from vacation, and Larry was so excited about it. He wore a tie and a suit.
He
took the jacket off earlier, but he dressed up for me. I was really impressed. So,
you're welcome. Don't ever see that again. Next time I'll be in a casket. You see me when I
don't say that.
I'll have to do that again. I'm sure I'll have to go some more funerals, some weddings, or whatever.
Yeah, it seems like they only happen in the summertime too. Yeah. When it's 150 degrees.
It was hot out there. Had to be a pallbearer today. It was hot.
Yeah.
But family and cousins, a lot of family there, so it was good to see them.
Yeah, they were lucky you could be there
under those circumstances. So,
well, today we're just going to freewheel and talk about a few things.
Yeah, we had some political stuff. Yeah. So the sheriffs had to retire.
Yeah,
if that's what you call it.
Yeah, and that was pretty sudden too. Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot of time from the when it became public that
he said he was going to fight it.
He had a residence in Nassau County,
resigning and retiring. But then
I think he probably got some good legal advice that this is going to be.
The general counsel got with him and said, "Yeah, you're not going to win this one.
Right?
I don't think you're going to win this one." And he's got 31 years. I'm sure he's okay. Politics sucks.
Yeah,
I've been a victim of it. I understand it.
For those who may not know what we're talking about, Duval County Sheriff Mike Williams, in his last term, I think in the last year, moved out of the county to Nassau County and has been residing in Nassau County
for a little over a year. And now some people's perception is that, he doesn't even come to work anymore. So we don't think that's exactly true. I mean, he's been seen at the sheriff's office at 501 East Bay Street. But the issue is, in some counties, a sheriff can live outside the county. It just depends on the charter, right? Right.
Larry can go into better detail.
So there was they've used the Division of Elections decision, and I think it was Leon and Jefferson County. A sheriff lived in one or the other and then ran in the other, and he got a decision basically saying, is there any violation of laws or anything that says I can't live in one county and run in another? And there was nothing, and they basically said you can't unless you have charter restrictions, and that came up later, and they kind of relate to if you have a charter, as long as the charter is not in violation of a state law. And I'll give you an example. 2012, we had a Supreme Court decision in come out of Jacksonville, because Jim Fuller was the clerk of the courts, and John Rutherford was the sheriff at the time. Rutherford was in his third term, so Fuller says, I'm not subject to term limits because I'm a state constitutional officer. So he fought it, went through court, went all the way up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, well, your charter, which is like a county constitution basically, says that you have term limits, so you're subject to term limits. Now that relates directly to this, because our county says we have residency requirement for the sheriff. You got to live in the county. And I think when he probably checked, if you look at Clay, I think Clay's a charter county, but they don't have any residency restrictions. So Michelle Cook lives in St. John's,
Right.
but runs Clay County. So there's no resident restrictions, and I think Clay is a charter, if I'm not mistaken. But the issue was in certain counties, there's they don't have charters. You can live in one county and run as.
So the point is, he was going on the state law,
but he felt like it. There's no law,
but
there's no restrictions. Is what I'm saying.
No restriction. But the county charter was contrary to the state allowing him.
Yeah, the state division of elections
not restricting him.
Right,
Right.
Not restricting him. So there are restrictions in Duval. So they found out he was in violation of restrictions here.
Yeah,
and obviously he had to.
Well, he just made the right decision, and he decided to step down in the. I
don't think he'd have won that one. So
yeah,
that's created a vacuum, obviously, and that's kind of a mess, actually. If he could have done this, maybe it should have been done like before the election, like the day before the election would have been fine, because now it created a special election. And thank God we've got another special election, state house seats coming up, so it'll fall on the same day. And it says, actually, if you read the charter, it's pretty specific. It says if he didn't leave, the city council would have to remove him from office. Basically, they were going to remove him from office. I think that's what's going to happen. So he probably
got the word that's the direction it was going to go in. So
remove him from office, but within no less than 1 month and no more than 6 months, they had to have an election. If there was a special election falling within that period of time, then they could do it on that date, which is exactly what they're doing.
Right. So
but if it not, they'd have to create a special election.
So they've got to have one just for this before the regular. Election.
Well, no, they're not having one just for this. They're having one that's occurring on the state house seat, like House District 15. There's already one occurring then, so they're going to do it
right.
But if that wasn't going on, then they would have to create a special election just to have.
Okay, I didn't know there was another special election already. Okay, so there'll be a couple of different.
So that's August 23rd. I think qualifying's Friday.
Yeah.
For this election, and then August 23rd is a primary, and I don't November 4th or something like that. It's early November is that. And then you got to have the regular election. So that person will take office until the regular next election, which is next year, March and May is when the regular election for sheriff occurs. So, so now we'll have 4 elections and we can have 4 sheriffs in 6-9 months.
Yeah. And the problem with special elections and they happen, and it's not his fault in this case because we were already having one, but they're costly. They're costly, and it's hard to get people to come out and vote that many times.
Right.
People like to, unfortunate as it is, they like to come out as little as possible to vote when they need to. So if they have to come out 3 or 4 times within 4 years, you're not likely to get as many voters out.
Yeah, elections, it's way down during off-season elections. Like presidential elections, you obviously get a lot, governor elections.
That's the big one, yeah. So let me give you my perspective on him living outside of the county, and then you give me yours.
Okay.
So the way I saw it was, as a citizen, I didn't have a problem with it. And as a former law enforcement officer with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, I don't think I would have been impacted with him being my, most senior boss there. I think it was created back in the day when we didn't have cell phones and all the communication networks we've got now. And you kind of had to reside here and be in the county because you had to be that accessible just in case. And I like to say, if the shit hits the fan, if the SHTF happens, you need to have the big guy or the big girl, big lady needs to be here for that. Nowadays, with cell phones and all of our other communication resources, if he can get back in the county within an hour, if the SHTF happens, because you've got a massive chain of command here, command structure to handle just about anything that happens, and it's kind of like the president. If we go to war, the president can handle things from Air Force One over wherever he's going to be by communication. So if a decision needs to get made, he's accessible. They can call him up on the phone or whatever. If it's really a big deal, they'll send a helicopter over and pick him up. But I think if you can get back in the county, if something happens within an hour or 30 minutes, and he can run lights and sirens if he needs to and get back here if he has to get back. And I think that holds true with Michelle Cook. I know where she lives, and she's kind of near where I live. Yeah. And she could get from where she lives. She can get back in Clay County in 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Whatever.
Shansbridge, yeah, 15 minutes. If she's running X, that's lights and sirens. So she can get back. So if something big really happens, and it's like, so. But to add to that, I think to get elected, you have to have lived in the county. And you need to have a residency requirement because you have to have a stake in the county. You have to have a pulse on the community, let's say. and know what's going on and know what's crime, what kind of crime's going on. If you live outside of the county, I don't think you should be able to run for that office. You got to live in the area, live in the city, live in the county. And if you move out at some point, well, I don't know.
You ready for mine?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I had to tee it up for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've had this discussion a little bit, but
Right.
that's bullshit, Jim.
Yeah, okay, all right. That's what we need to hear. So,
I think the sheriff. And I don't care where it is, really. I mean, if you're going to have the pulse of the community, I think this is the term I like to use. You think so little of the city you serve and protect, you choose not to live in it. You got to live where you're going to run. You already said you need to live there to be able to run there. Then why have the opportunity to leave there? You should live here like the rest of us that live here. If you're going to serve and protect this community, you should be here. And I agree that the mindset is you got North Florida is North Florida. It's a suburban, all the outlying counties are kind of suburban sprawl of what Duval County was. But that's the problem with Duval County is everybody's sprawled out to other counties, and we've lost some of the protection. I can tell you some of the people that are running for office now, even TK, he's not living in Duval. But like 2 years out of the last 10. And I don't know where he lives now because his last address has come up in Ponte Vedra.
Okay. So hold on there. So does that mean he's gonna? I know, but I got a question for you. Does that mean if he's going to continue running, he's going to have to get an address?
Apparently he lives here now. And the problem with the sheriff was, I think it's the troops didn't. It says a lot to the troops.
Absolutely.
For a few things, not just the fact that he lives out of county, but the fact that he broke the law.
Perception's everything. Yeah,
he broke the law in doing it.
Yeah.
They fire and they arrest and fire police officers for breaking the law, and they will do an integrity complaint, and then they'll do an internal complaint. Once the criminal case is done, they send a criminal case to integrity for the administrative case, and they'll charge them if they broke the law. They've got a charge in internal affairs called supporting criminal acts, conduct supporting criminal acts. But nobody's going to investigate the sheriff for that. When he moved out of county, he hasn't changed his voter registration. Okay, it looks deceitful. I don't think it is, and it's probably just something slid under the net. But he supported Nick Howland for the city council.
Right,
he couldn't vote in that election, and he didn't vote in that election. Mm-hmm. Why didn't he vote in that election? Because if he voted that election, it'd have been fraud because he doesn't live there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
okay. So he had a full sense of awareness of the.
What I understand is he never changed his address in HR. Mm-hmm. He never changed his address in EIS. Mm-hmm. Was he hiding it? And then he never paid the $25. Now I will say this: everybody's upset. The officers, when they move out of county, they have to sign a form, and they can live in an adjacent county, but they have to pay per payday to be able to drive their police car home. Well, the sheriff didn't, and he doesn't have to. I will disagree with the ones that said it's grand theft. He was stealing from no, he wasn't, because those officers agreed under their contract, their FOP contract, to pay that money as part of their contract. The sheriff's not part of an FOP contract. He's an elected official.
He's elected.
So he's not responsible to pay that. Now, it would have been right for him to say, hey, take $25 out of my paycheck, so I'm doing the same thing that everybody else.
Just to set the example.
Yeah, I don't think he was. So he probably should have set the example, but that's kind of where my thing is about the vacuum of leadership that's occurring at the sheriff's office.
I'd have to guess
I think moving out of county, that's the problem is you've had so much urban flight from Jacksonville, Duval County, and there's still great places in Duval County, but you need to live here.
Yeah.
I think it sets the tone.
Well, it makes me wonder why would, when he knows his term's coming to an end fairly soon, why did he choose to leave early?
I'm sure somebody told him he got the wrong advice, I'm sure.
Knowing it, okay, that's what I was going to say. Knowing that he may be...
He might have had some bobblehead ass kissers downtown.
It may be very
you do whatever
gray.
You want, boss. You're the boss. You can go wherever you want, do
right.
what you want. And somebody should have said, hey, let's call the general counsel's office and see if this is plausible. So the general counsel would have said, no.
So you think it was a gray area for him, and he just kind of
I think he didn't maybe call around enough and get the right advice. Maybe he called the wrong person.
True. Because I've talked to a few people, and they said that was very, it's very vague. It's gray.
Yeah. No, it's not.
To some people, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even a little bit. No, that charter's clear.
Okay.
It's very clear. Have you ever read?
And the charter overrides. Well, the charter's a charter. That's right, because there is no.
It's a county constitution, but it's not overriding county. Everybody talks about a state law. There's no state
there's no law.
That says
it's a lack of having a law.
Yes.
So you can. There's nothing. There's no law saying you have to live here, so you can. Right.
Right. But there's not one that says you can't.
So I wonder if Clay is charter. I would think
it is a charter, but they don't have residency requirements.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I believe it's a charter. That's what I was told.
So in this particular charter requirement, it had a residency requirement.
100%.
Okay. Well,
I can read it to you if you want.
Well, you can, but I think we know it's pretty. Go ahead and read it.
I mean,
let's read it.
I'll read up one little section if I even have it. I don't even know if I have it now.
I've always known him to be a pretty straight up guy, and I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, maybe
that he would risk any kind of possible.
Yeah, man, I deleted it after that came out, but
right.
Everybody pulled it up, and it's been in the news. People have read it in the news. They cut the section where it says if he does certain things, if he moves out of the county, he has to resign, or the city council has to remove him. I mean, it's pretty clear. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm surprised. Yeah, what I was saying is I'm surprised he would risk any kind of controversy to make a move like that.
Well, I don't think he thought it would be a controversy. Probably, he probably thought, well, I'm the sheriff, and maybe nobody really cares, or I don't know. I've said this before. Mike's he is a nice guy, and everybody thinks he's aloof, and a lot of the troops call him Missing Mike. That's the term they use for him. They got Lion Lenny and Missing Mike. But he's not aloof. He's actually a really nice guy. He's just very introverted. And I think when they asked him, he said, I moved to Nassau County and I don't plan on coming back. I mean, I think he wants to.
So it's not like he was hiding it.
No.
Okay. Well, I think that says a lot right there.
That says a lot about him. He didn't lie.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Yeah, he didn't lie about it.
So he probably should have gotten better legal advice on it and didn't. So
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, you hear all kinds of things in the news media and in circles.
You should live in Duval County. I think anybody that runs for any election, does any election, has a stake in this community should live in Duval County and should have lived in Duval County for a spirit. I feel
really strong about that. Yeah, you got to have some history in here. Yeah.
Yeah. And you got people running for office now that haven't lived, and they move. I know there was one in the city council seat. He doesn't live in the district. He's getting a place in the district. You guys shouldn't be able to run. I mean, I think you should have a time frame that you've lived in Duval County. They say TK Waters has moved back. He's getting a house built. Maybe that's so.
That might be in preparation for running. Yeah. So in my mind, it's just a line on a map that you either live here. He could live right on the edge of Duval County.
He lives deep further.
I know.
He's not
he's
right on
far.
the edge of any damn county.
But I kind of
he's closer to Georgia than he is Duval County.
Right. So that's kind of So it's how close is he? Or would somebody be, and how quickly can they get back? He could be a sheriff in
Georgia easier than he'd be a sheriff in Duval, where he's living.
That's a point. Yeah, that's a point. All right, so that was a counterpoint on that issue, but we've seen it all over the news.
And we do that. I kind of like that. You and I don't see eye to eye on everything, so that's the way it should be.
Well, I know, but you kind of educated me a little bit on it because I wasn't really clear on it because you watch some stuff on the news, you're not getting all the facts.
Well, I've got a lot of friends that moved to Nassau County or moved to St. Johns County or moved to Clay County. I was born and raised here. I don't want to move.
Yeah.
And we're kind of given. I mean, that's why I think Duval's turned blue. It's because some people who moved out of the county. And you got the elected officials, the ones that we elected to put there, moved out of the county. He couldn't even vote for the guy he endorsed in this county. And that just says a lot. And then all the other stuff when, he didn't change his voter's registration. I'm not saying it's deceitful, but it looks bad. It looks bad, You couldn't vote for the guy because you knew if you voted, it'd be that. Right. I'm not saying he did that, but it would look like you didn't vote because you knew it would be voter fraud because you didn't live there. And you haven't changed your address, and HR is what I was told. I don't know if it's true. Haven't changed an EIS, you don't pay the $25 fee. I said, you don't have to pay the $25 fee, but it'd have been the right thing to do. They probably have to raise that after all the gas prices. But
yeah, I was about to say that $25 fee is a little dated.
Yeah. Well, they had a 10 mile. You remember they had a 10 mile, and then it was beyond that. You couldn't take it beyond the 10 miles.
Right. I had friends that had to drive their POV in every day.
Yeah, but now and it makes sense. If you live in an adjacent county, you should be able to drive to the adjacent county because everybody does that everywhere. So that's all I got.
Well, that makes sense because of the interlocal agreements and I think they just passed a law a couple of years ago that you can actually be outside of your quote jurisdiction if you're a city police officer.
We have a couple of counties we have cops without borders. So
cops without borders, yeah.
Do we if it's a felony suspect, there's a couple other things that they can do, like in Clay County.
Right. I think, and that helps out in pursuits and things like that. Yeah. But
mutual aid
you had issues like where some officers were police officers and not like officer / sheriffs like county sheriffs and their jurisdiction ended when they left their city.
Right.
And they changed that so that maybe somebody in Neptune Beach driving home to their house in Jacksonville or whatever could actually do whatever they needed to do,
Yeah.
Still be the police. How's that? Still be the police. All right. We like that. All right. Good conversation, man.
That was a good talk.
All right. Good
Let's do more
to have you back.
Let's argue more. I like
Love
that.
it. I know. We need to,
Get Zach, and he's not playing on the
we
phone.
need to stop being so friendly with each other.
Yeah. That's all
You know,
I
but
appreciate
I think it was the suit today and the tie.
Maybe
It
that
just
set me
created a
off.
whole
Maybe
different.
that's- different persona.
Yeah. All right. So
Maybe
next
it set
time
me
I'm
off.
coming back with a suit on.
Yeah, I done rolled the sleeves.
Let's ramp this up.
It's like a
Well, it
Lenny
looks
Curry
like you're
thing.
ready to fight.
Lenny Curry thing does that
Yeah.
when he tries to look tough on camera. He'll roll his sleeves up.
Well, everything changed when you rolled your sleeves up. I was like, oh shit, it's on now.
Did you see the thing he did with the reporter, the one that asked Aaron Zahn if the mayor had anything to do with the JEA, and Aaron Zahn just turned and put his hand on Ben Baker's shoulder and smiled because he can't say, but know that Lenny Curry did probably. Well, he tried to interview him about the mayor had no representation at the bicentennial or the Memorial Day. So he tried to ask the mayor about that, and the mayor just turned around and jumped in his vehicle and said, "You're a horrible human being." That's what he said to the reporter.
When was this?
I'll show you.
Because I don't watch the news
I'll show
on
you the
purpose.
video.
It's not by accident. It's on purpose.
He put it on Twitter, but
I mean, the local news is disgusting.
he
I think.
turned around and said, "You're a horrible human being," to the reporter who was just asking him, "Why did the mayor's office have representation at the bicentennial?" That was his response. Yeah,
that was a legitimate question.
It was a legitimate question.
Yeah, and they're a horrible human being.
Yeah, I think.
Well, we've still got a
fun.
really good episode. Probably going to be a two-parter coming up on our current, soon-to-be former mayor Lenny Curry.
We'll see. We got to have Mike Talbert back.
Yeah, we've been talking to Mike. I've been talking to Mike, so we'll
we'll get him back.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got. That's all you got.
Wrap
all
it up,
right.
Jim.
Okay. You want to arm wrestle for the audience or anything? Okay.
And I'm dressed. I can't get all sweaty like that.
Okay. You might rip out of that shirt anyways. Okay. All right. That's it for
Stomach will fall out.
That's it for Real Jacks with Jim and Larry. No crawfish today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hey, and give us your feedback. Tell them how to find us.
We're on
Facebook.
Instagram. Are we on this? Yeah, we're on Instagram.
Instagram, Facebook.
We're thinking about a website.
Send us messages and
we're working on a website. We're talking about that.
Yeah, and you'll be able to talk to us on the web
get more
on the
money out of
website.
Jim.
You know what we're gonna do? We'll just get a phone right here and give you a phone number to call.
Yeah,
And we'll just have to get one of
talked about doing
those
Facebook Live.
cards, one of those prepaid phone cards with the numbers gone after so many minutes.
Right.
Get rid of it and have a new number for each show. All right, that's coming soon.
Okay.
All right, thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you.